Hey there, fellow fish keepers. Figured I was due to make an update video on how this ick has been going in my tank. What a nightmare that is. Really just a pain in the butt, but I did lose some fish as well, which is more than likely from what I read. It's, one of the biggest killers of your stock can be ick. It's unfortunate. I had it in my 75-gallon tank here behind me. Unfortunately, I then passed it to my 29-gallon tank and my 5-gallon tank before I even realized I had it. So it's been a process. I went ahead and used Ick Attack by Kordon for the 75-gallon. It did eventually get rid of the ick. I've been ick-free. Today is Wednesday. I've been ick-free since Saturday, but it did take a good 2 weeks. I did upgrade the treatments to twice and 3 times a day. Originally it tells you to just do once. I would recommend, if you're going to use Kordon's Ick Attack, you just start right away with at least double dosing every 12 hours, if not every 8 hours, and triple dose in the beginning stages. At least to get you going, because it really does take a while to get every one of those little cysts that drop into the gravel, and it's very easy for them to just have one or two that constantly are remaining in the tank to latch onto the fish. So it's definitely been a process, but fortunately, like I said, I've been ick-free, at least any visible signs on any fish since Saturday, and things have now been going well. Fish are looking great, acting healthy again. No one's sitting at the top struggling for breath because of the parasite in their mouths and their gills, and all the nasty stuff that happens because of it. So I'm happy in that respect. I also had to use the Ick Attack because I have some scaleless fish, clown loach, a rainbow shark, and the catfish Sodontis Eurypterus, featherfin, in with them. So I didn't want to harm those fish if I could avoid it. So it looks like so far I've gotten through everything, and I still have all the fish. I lost one fish in that tank. It was an autopharynx lithobae. It was a beautiful fish, and I'm upset that I lost it. I think that was the fish that was infected originally, though, that brought everything into my tank. I wasn't quarantining fish before, so obviously that was an issue. I've since learned my lesson, and I've started a 5.5-gallon tank for quarantining fish, which actually I'll just bring down here. Alright, I flipped you around here. This is my 29-gallon that I also gave the ick to. This tank, the Kordon's Ick Attack, just was not working. It did work for these Colombian tetras because they had quite a bit on them, and the Ick Attack seemed to get rid of it. The guppies never got it. There's one electric blue. He had it terrible. The other electric blue died. I also had a German blue ram that also died. I had 3 little Cory catfish got peppered. This albino corner there. He's lying on the back, or lying on the ground, but he's not dead. He does still move. He's just chilling. But I lost the panda, so I did lose quite a few fish in this tank because of it. So I really had to switch, because the Ick Attack was just not working. I even pulled out. I've got a big ship. I pulled that ship out just because I was thinking maybe the ick was getting in there and the medicine wasn't treating all the open spaces. And anyways, I pulled that ship out, and then I switched the medicine to Kordon's Rapid Cure instead. And this one's a little bit different. It works on a droplet basis, and it works very well. It is like a blue dye. So it'll dye your fingers if you touch it. It'll stain pretty much anything. But I mean, I put it in a ceramic cup in order to put it into the tank. Like I pre-mixed it in some water in a ceramic cup. And it stained the cup, but only temporarily. As soon as I dumped the cup and the solution into the tank and then went and rinsed it out, it was gone. But the water turns completely blue just for a short period of time. And then you can see there's still, although I did do a water change yesterday, after 3 treatments, I think it says to do a water change of 25%. So anyways, I'm now at a point where I don't see ick on any fish. The black molly had it pretty good also. It's totally cleared off of that black molly. Very easy to see on that molly, the sail fin. The electric blue here does have one little spot on his head, but it almost looks like it's a more fungal reaction to some of the ick that was on him. And he does look like he has maybe one spot on his side still. I can't tell if that's just irritated from where one fell off or if there's still one more. So I mean, I recommend to keep treating it after your last visible sign for a few days anyways. So I'm continuing to do that there. And then in this tank, even though I've been safe now since Saturday, I've still been treating it twice a day, even up until today, and I'll give it another treatment tonight. And I probably will just finish the last bottle of it that I have off, just to be darn sure that I get every last one, because it's really a pain in the butt. And I also already have a nice fish, since I figured I was clear, in my quarantine tank, which is a beautiful sunshine peacock. And he's already a good 4 inches or so. He's just a beautiful fish. Unfortunately, you can't see him right now. He's hiding under the bridge, and I feel terrible for him leaving in that tiny little 5.5 gallon tank. But it's only a short quarantine period time to make sure that I'm not introducing ick back into the tank, because that's how it happened in the first place. You know, some people believe that it's just always there. I do not believe that. I believe that it does have to be introduced to your tank, and then it has a certain amount of lifespan that it has before it will die out if it has no host. I left this quarantine tank empty for 2 weeks, actually just over 2 weeks. It was 14 days plus a day, just to be sure that there was nothing left. And so far so good. And that nice sunshine came out there to have a little peek, which was great. Oh yeah, there we go. Such a nice looking fish. I really cannot wait to put that fish up in the big tank. It's, you know, just eating away at my patience just having him in this tank, especially because of how big he is and how big this tank is. But soon enough, I'm gonna put him in there. So I'm just happy the ick is gone out of this top tank. They got a nice brine shrimp treat today. There's that swallowtail. No, they're all coming in right now. They all want to be in their shot. Well, that's me signing off, guys, with my experience with ick and the medications that I used. I sincerely hope none of you have to get it, but I also read that 99% of people will get it eventually. So anyways, I'm going to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen again. I actually now have an individual bucket, siphon, and net for each tank that I have, just to be on the safe side, so I'm not transferring things from tank to tank. Anyways, take care. Hope you enjoyed watching.